Greetings, readers. Welcome to the first March edition of Library News. We hope that spring is right around the corner. In this episode, we discuss the Braille Challenge, top 10 fiction on Bard, and much more. The library held the Iowa Regional Braille Challenge on Saturday, February 14th at the Iowa Department for the Blind. 11 students put their Braille skills to the test. Lincoln C. took first place in the rookie freshman group, REM in the freshman group, Con T. in the sophomore group, Jordan R. in the junior varsity, and Kayla B. in the varsity group. Congratulations to all the participants. We would like to thank all our volunteers who made the day a great success. It was a wonderful day filled with Braille. At the end of this podcast, you can hear interviews from some of the participants as they talk about the Braille Challenge and the use of Braille in their lives.
The second stop in our 2026 PikaBox journey was Paris, France. Paris, France is a city where history, culture, and global celebration come together, and in 2024 it once again took center stage as an Olympic host city. After previously hosting the Games in 1900 and 1924, Paris made history by welcoming the world back for the 2024 Summer Olympics, exactly 100 years after its last Games. Don't miss out on the opportunity to read all about Olympic host cities this year. It's not too late to get signed up for PikaBox. Call the library to get signed up today or go to iowalibrary.blog.
Now for the top 10 fiction books downloaded from Bard. The Widow, DB133042 by John Grisham. Simon Latch is a lawyer in rural Virginia, making just enough to pay his bills while his marriage slowly falls apart. Then into his office walks Eleanor Barnett, an elderly widow in need of a new will. Apparently, her husband left her a small fortune, and no one knows about it. Once he hooks the richest client of his career, Simon works quietly to keep her wealth under the radar. But soon her story begins to crack. When she is hospitalized after a car accident, Simon realizes that nothing is as it seems. And he finds himself on trial for a crime he swears he didn't commit: murder. Simon knows he's innocent, but he also knows the circumstantial evidence is against him, and he could spend the rest of his life behind bars. To save himself, he must find the real killer. Nash Falls, DB133328 by David Baldacci. Nash is an intelligent man, tough but fair-minded. He has a wife and a daughter and a very high-level position at Sybaritic Investments, where his innate skills and dogged tenacity have carried him to the top of the pyramid in his business career. Despite never going on grand adventures and always working too many hours, he has a happy and upscale life with his family. However, following his estranged Vietnam veteran father's funeral, Nash is unexpectedly approached by the FBI in the middle of the night. They have an important request: become their inside man to expose an enterprise that is laundering large sums of money through Sybaritic. At the top of this illegal operation is Victoria Steers, an international criminal mastermind that the FBI has been trying to bring down for years. Nash has little choice but to accept the FBI's demands and try to bring Steers and her partners to justice. But when Steers discovers that Nash is working with the FBI, she turns the tables on him in a way he never could have contemplated. And that forces Nash to take the ultimate step, both to survive and to take his revenge. He must become the exact opposite of who he has always been, and even that may not be enough. The Proving Ground, DB133660 by Michael Connolly. Following his resurrection walk and need for a new direction, Mickey Haller turns to public interest litigation, filing a civil lawsuit against an artificial intelligence company whose chatbot told a 16-year-old boy that it was okay for him to kill his ex-girlfriend for her disloyalty. Representing the victim's family, Mickey's case explores the mostly unregulated and exploding AI business and the lack of training guardrails. Along the way, he joins up with a journalist named Jack McAvoy, who wants to be a fly on the wall during the trial in order to write a book about it. But Mickey puts him to work going through the mountain of printed discovery materials in the case. McAvoy's digging ultimately delivers the key witness, a whistleblower who has been too afraid to speak up. The case is fraught with danger because billions are at stake.
Exit Strategy, DB133326 by Lee Child. First, A Baltimore coffee shop. A seat in the corner, facing the door. Black coffee, 2 refills, no messing around. A minor interruption from 2 of the customers, but nothing he can't deal with swiftly. As he leaves, a young guy brushes against him in the doorway. Instinctively, Reacher checks the pocket holding his cash and passport. There's no problem. Nothing is missing. Second, a store to buy a coat, nothing fancy, something he can ditch when he heads to warmer climates. Large enough to fit a man the size of a bank vault. As he pulls out his cash, he finds something new in his pocket, a handwritten note. A desperate plea for help. Third, wherever this bend in the road takes him, impressed by the guy's technique and intrigued by the message, Reacher makes it his mission to find out more. Gone Before Goodbye, a novel, DB 133207, by Reese Witherspoon and Harlan Coben. Maggie McCabe is teetering on the brink, a highly skilled and renowned Army combat surgeon. She has always lived life at the edge, where she could make the most impact, and it was all going to plan, until it wasn't. Upside down after a devastating series of tragedies leads to her medical license being revoked. Maggie has lost her purpose, but not her nerve or her passion. At her lowest point, she is thrown a lifeline by a former colleague, an elite plastic surgeon whose anonymous clientele demand the best care money can buy, as well as absolute discretion. Halfway across the globe, sequestered in the lap of luxury and cutting-edge technology, one of the world's most mysterious men requires unconventional medical assistance. Desperate, and one of the few surgeons in the world skilled enough to take this job, Maggie enters his realm of unspeakable opulence and fulfills her end of the agreement. But when the patient suddenly disappears while still under her care, Maggie must become a fugitive herself. Return of the Spider, DB 133329, by James Patterson. The suspense classic Along Came a Spider introduced in unsurpassed rivalry Detective Alex Cross, the human superhero, New York Times, versus Gary Sanji, the most deliciously wicked character since Hannibal Lecter, Lexington Herald leader. But that wasn't their first meeting. Police discovered that Sanji kept a murder book, Profiles in Homicidal Genius, detailing his transformation from substitute teacher to hardened serial killer, including clues that imply missteps that Alex Cross may have made as a rookie homicide detective. Now Alex must retrace the steps of that long-ago investigation and face the return of the spider.
Last Patient of the Night, DB 132772, by Gary Gerlacher. The death of a nameless young woman in his emergency room spurs physician A.J. Docker to seek answers. Together with his policeman friend and a police dog, he sets out on a quest for justice for his lost patient. But he discovers more questions than answers as he delves into the criminal world. Last Patient of the Night is an action-packed thriller interspersed with lighthearted stories from the emergency room, featuring a cast of interesting characters. Gary Gerlacher's experience as an emergency physician lends authenticity to the ER culture. His debut novel is the first in the A.J. Docker series and will leave you on the edge of your seat. Coyote Hills, a novel, DB 133034, by Jonathan Kellerman and Jesse Kellerman. Clay Edison has left behind the Alameda County Coroner's Office to strike out on his own as a private investigator. He's perfectly happy working low-stakes embezzlement cases. That is, until P.I. Regina Klein calls him with a mystery only he can solve. The son of a wealthy couple has washed up dead on the shores of San Francisco Bay with a head injury and drugs in his system. The police are calling it an accident, but the parents are adamant something's not right. And as Clay digs deeper, he uncovers a horrifying tangle of betrayal and lies. The Secret of Secrets, DB 132396, by Dan Brown. Robert Langdon, esteemed professor of symbology, travels to Prague to attend a groundbreaking lecture by Catherine Solomona, prominent noetic scientist with whom he has recently begun a relationship. Catherine is on the verge of publishing an explosive book that contains startling discoveries about the nature of human consciousness and threatens to disrupt centuries of established belief. But a brutal murder catapults the trip into chaos, and Catherine suddenly disappears along with her manuscript. Langdon finds himself targeted by a powerful organization and hunted by a chilling assailant sprung from Prague's most ancient mythology. As the plot expands into London and New York, Langdon desperately searches for Catherine and for answers. In a thrilling race through the dual worlds of futuristic science and mystical lore, he uncovers a shocking truth about a secret project that will forever change the way we think about the human mind. $1 Billion Ransom, a Thriller, DB 132864, by James Patterson and Dwayne Shiervinsky. 5 members of a billionaire's family, in different locations, all kidnapped at the same moment. 2 children taken from a private school bus, a film producer and a movie star grabbed at a hideaway resort, a beautiful wife whisked off the streets of Beverly Hills. A patriarch wants his family back. The cash, gold, jewels, and crypto are all ready. There's only one problem: a brilliant, very stubborn FBI agent. Special Agent Nikki Gordon doesn't want to pay the kidnappers. Not a dime.
Join us for Makerspace Monday on Monday, March 9th from 6 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. You can join us in person or via Zoom. March is famous for its wild winds, but what if you could turn that invisible force into a process art of your own? Forget staying inside the lines. In this high-octane action art adventure, you aren't just watching the weather, you are the architect of the air. We're transforming the library into a creative wind tunnel where your breath becomes the brush and curiosity is your only compass. All ages are welcome. You can find the link to register on our blog at iowalibrary.blog or call the library and we can help you get registered. For any questions about Makerspace Mondays, contact Denise Bean at denise.bean@blind.state.ia.us or 515-452-1338.
Volunteers for the Iowa Library for the Blind save the date. The Elizabeth Porowski Volunteer Workshop and Luncheon will be held on Friday, April 24th at the Iowa Department for the Blind. We are excited to recognize all the wonderful volunteers and the hard work they have done in the past year.
The National Library Service's Many Faces of Bard program will be held Thursday, March 12th at 6 p.m. NLS's Smart Speaking to the Smart Speaker will be held Thursday, March 19th at 6 p.m. And That All May E-Read will be held Tuesday, March 24th at 6 p.m. All programs are held via Zoom and the topics have not been released yet. Check our blog, iowalibrary.blog, for updated information. Contact the library to get more information or go to www.loc.gov/NLS. Please don't hesitate to contact the library with any questions or comments at 515-281-1323 or by email at library@blind.state.ia.us. The library is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Happy reading! But now stay tuned for some sound bites from the participants of the Braille Challenge.
What's your favorite part of the Braille Challenge? It could be a test, it could be anything that we do at the Braille Challenge.
Just everything in general. It's more about, how fun it is, When you think about it, it's really fun in the fact that you get to meet people and actually just have fun.
And share passion for Braille.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is Jordan Jacobson. Reading is your rainbow. Signing off. Reading is awesome!
Thanks so much, Jordan.
Yeah, you'll see me next year, definitely. You will see me next year because I love Braille!
Thank you for coming and joining us in the Braille Challenge. What is your favorite part of the Braille Challenge? What's your favorite contest?
I like the spelling bit because I don't like to read Braille. I just like to write Braille. I like the noise of the Braille writer when I push down the keys.
Any comments you have about Braille and how it's affected your life?
It affected my life because I could actually read and do what the other kids are doing and read along with the story in class and write notes.
Tell me, what's your favorite part of the Braille Challenge, your favorite contest?
It's pretty much all my favorite. My favorite part of it, though, is reading comprehension part because I have a very good memory and I like to show that off.
What's your favorite contest of the Braille Challenge?
I don't really have a favorite because I've been doing Braille since preschool, and I've always really thought it's really a fun exercise for the brain, a fun free time choice to do. So, like I said, Braille is a really good tool, and it helps me a lot. And if it weren't for Braille, I wouldn't be here right now. And for those that are low vision or blind, I want to encourage them to do Braille more often.
How often should they do Braille?
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
At least 20 minutes?
Yeah.
I agree with this. Well, thank you so much, Jasmine, for joining us back here. And hopefully we see you in the next Braille Challenge.
See ya. Laughs. I love Braille. Yeah.
Where would you love to see Braille in the world? So if you could
Everywhere.
have more Braille, where would you love it?
Let's see. So, elevators, most of elevators right now have Braille.
Yeah.
I want the class to... I want people to access Braille.
Mm-hmm.
Also in public transportation, like cars and such.
Yeah.
Like autonomous cars, self-driving cars. I want them to have Braille on the dashboard, so you know which button you press for, the car to drive and stuff like that.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
I just hope that will happen soon.
Yeah.
Oh, also I really wish to learn Braille music.
Have you done a little bit of Braille music, or have you...
Let's see. With Denise contacted a friend of hers.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Pablo, and he is from New York. And he hosted a program of teaching blind students about, music. And he is an incredible guy. And, I just hope that he'll teach us Braille Braille music soon. And if he doesn't, I'll ask my local music teacher to teach me Braille music.
And is there any instruments that you would love to learn to play once you learn Braille music?
I already play the piano and recorder, but I would like to improve on that so that I could be more independent on playing, famous pieces and stuff.
Excellent. Well, thank you again, and congratulations.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you next year.
You will see me next year.
Good. All right.
That's not a promise. That's a fact.
It's a fact.